You already looked in the mirror and felt that something in you changed, but couldn't explain exactly what. Perhaps you have noticed that your eyes shine more, that your energy is different, or that people look at you in a new way. What many do not know is that spiritual growth does not only happen in the invisible field, it manifests itself in the body, voice, posture, and even the skin. And the most surprising? Most people ignore these signs, without realizing that they are going through a deep personal transformation. For a long time, it was believed that spirituality was distant, reserved only for monks in meditation or gurus in isolated temples. But the truth is that it reveals itself in much more subtle and completely visible ways. Changes in appearance, increased vitality, softening facial expressions. All of this are spiritual signs that indicate that your body and energy are vibrating at a different frequency. And if you are experiencing this, know that your evolution journey has begun. But how to recognize these signs? How to know if you are really going through this transformation? There are clear brands that show that your spirit is growing, and in this video you will discover 7 of them. Some may surprise you, others may be happening without you realizing it. Get ready to see your own evolution in a completely new way. The human body is a living reflection of the inner journey. When someone deepens in spirituality and self-knowledge, subtle change, and not so subtle, they begin to manifest in appearance. Spiritual energy physically translates, posture becomes firmer, the look gains intensity, and even the skin seems to carry a new shine. This is no coincidence, but a sign that the energy frequency is rising. Just as a clean river better reflects the sunlight, a being in personal transformation comes to radiate vitality and internal balance. If we observe people who have undergone a deep evolution, we will see that their facial expressions are more serene, their more harmonious movements, and their most magnetic presence. It is as if, when they break free from old emotional loads, they become lighter, and this shows in the physical. Have you noticed how someone who finds purpose seems different, even without major external changes? It is not just aesthetics, but the energy that the person exudes. Spiritual signs are like invisible fingerprints, they leave marks everywhere. These changes do not need to be actively sought, they happen naturally as the inner transformation occurs. However, those who want to accelerate this process can focus on emotional alignment and spiritual health. Small daily habits, such as meditation, conscious breathing, and practices that raise vibration, such as contact with nature, help intensify this tune. And the most fascinating? The brightness in the eyes, the vibrant presence, and the illuminated aura do not go unnoticed. The eyes are like windows of the soul, and when spiritual energy rises, they transform. Suddenly, that tired and lifeless look gives way to a vibrant intensity, a difficult glow to ignore. This is because the person's energy frequency has changed, bringing more mental clarity and inner connection. Have you noticed how some people have a look that conveys peace and strength at the same time? It is not only genetics or environmental lighting, it is the visible expression of deep inner growth. This brightness in the eyes does not appear by chance. It comes when the mind is at peace, when the heart is aligned with the purpose, and when spiritual energy is freely flowing. People who practice self-knowledge, who face their fears and find internal balance, carry this magnetism in their eyes. This can be observed in spiritual masters, inspiring leaders, or even in that friend who has undergone a great personal transformation. The look says more than words and reveals a lot about someone's inner state. If you want to wake this glow in your eyes, start looking inside. It deepens yourself to what brings you life, abandon unnecessary weights and connect with what really matters. Techniques such as daily gratitude, meditation, and inner silence help remove layers of emotional tiredness that obscure facial expression. When the soul is illuminated, the eyes reflect this light, and suddenly the world begins to see in you something different, something that you can't even explain completely. When someone goes through a true spiritual awakening, transformation does not only happen in mind and soul, the body responds surprisingly. A sense of renewal takes over, the previously constant fatigue gives way to impressive vitality. This is because spiritual energy flows without blockages, raising energy frequency and bringing a more vibrant presence. It is as if the whole organism enters in tune with this new reality, reflecting this inner growth in a natural way. People who live this process notice changes in disposition, strength, and even the way they move around the world. Food changes instinctively, heavy foods stop attracting, and more natural options become more inviting. The body seems to ask for movement, whether through walks, yoga, or any activity that brings well-being. It is the reflection of a new harmony between body and spirit. This personal transformation not only feels, but one sees, the posture adjusts, the facial expression is softened, and even the tone of voice gains more firmness and serenity. For those who want to stimulate this spiritual energy and maintain vitality high, small adjustments can make all the difference. Sleeping well, drinking plenty of water, and looking for moments of introspection are essential. But besides, what really enhances this change is the inner connection, knowing what nourishes your soul and what drains your energy. After all, nothing gets tired more than living misleading to who you really are. And when this tuning happens, well, the changes in the skin soon appear. The skin is a faithful mirror of what happens inside the body and the soul. When a person finds inner balance and goes through true spiritual transformation, his skin responds with more brightness, softness, and even a younger appearance. This is because spiritual energy in harmony reduces stress, improves circulation, and even influences the production of hormones that promote well-being. The result? A more radiant face, as if the aura herself were showing in facial expression. If you notice well, people who cultivate self-knowledge and emotional health seem to carry a natural shine on the skin, even without makeup or expensive treatments. Internal vitality manifests itself externally. When the body is not overwhelmed with negative emotions and excessive concerns, it is detoxicated and rejuvenated. It is not just an aesthetic issue, it is a direct reflection of the inner state. Those who practice meditation, conscious breathing, and daily gratitude perceive the effects of a quieter mind on the skin and a higher energy frequency. For those who want to intensify this personal transformation and reflect this spiritual energy in appearance, some habits can help. Drinking water in abundance, adopting a light and natural diet, avoiding excess negative information, and, especially, cultivating positive thoughts are fundamental steps. The body responds to what the soul feels. And when the inside is at peace, the skin becomes a silent testimony of this transformation. This is reflected in the softness of the expressions, which begin to convey something even deeper. A person's face says a lot about his journey. When someone goes through true inner growth, their facial expressions become almost imperceptibly but deeply impactful. The tension that once marked the countenance begins to disappear, giving way to more serene and light strokes. This is because emotional health is more balanced, and spiritual energy flows without blockages. The result? A face that conveys peace, confidence, and a genuine inner connection. Have you noticed how some people seem to have a reassuring presence, even without saying a word? This is due to the softness of their expressions, a reflection of a mind and a heart in harmony. When we free from negative emotions such as fear, grudge, or excessive anxiety, the face naturally relaxes. The eyebrows cease to frown so much, the lips open to more spontaneous smiles, and the eyes shine more intensely. Small details, but make a huge difference in the way we are perceived by the world. If you want to soften your expressions and reflect more internal balance, experience practices that relax mind and body. Deep breathing exercises, moments of silence, and even a simple smile in front of the mirror help dissolve accumulated tensions. Also, avoiding unnecessary conflicts and cultivating high thoughts are attitudes that shape not only the spirit, but also the way it manifests itself in the face. And when this change happens, the posture naturally adjusts to reflect this new energy. The body speaks even before any word is said. When someone is aligned with their spiritual purpose, this is reflected in the posture: open shoulders, erect spine, firm but quiet movements. This change is not just physical, it is energetic. A person who found internal balance is more confidently, as he no longer carries the weight of uncertainties and insecurities. Personal transformation manifests itself in the way it occupies the space around it, conveying a remarkable presence. It is easy to note the difference between someone who feels small in the face of life and someone who walks with conviction. Those who are disconnected from their spiritual energy often adopt a curved posture, as if carrying an invisible burden. On the other hand, those who have developed self-knowledge and clarity about who they are moving with more lightness and security. It is not arrogance, but a physical expression of inner peace. This posture even influences the perception of others. A simple adjustment can completely change the way someone is seen and heard. For those who want to develop this more confident presence, the key is in the inner connection. Techniques such as yoga, stretching and body awareness practices help strengthen this posture. But the true secret is internal: believing in yourself, releasing fears and allowing yourself to occupy your own space. The body responds to what the mind feels, and a strong posture reflects a strong spirit. Over time, until the tone of voice transforms, transmitting this energy even more powerfully. The voice is one of the most subtle and powerful manifestations of spiritual transformation. When someone goes through deep inner growth, his tone of voice naturally fits. It can become more serene, transmitting calm and safe, or firmer, reflecting authenticity and confidence. It is not a forced change, but a direct reflection of the spiritual energy that now flows with more balance. Words said with conscience carry a different vibration, and the surrounding people feel it, even without consciously realizing it. Have you noticed how some people have a voice that holds attention, while others speak, but don't resonate? This is not just about vocal technique, but with energy frequency. Those who are connected with oneself speak, without the need to prove anything to anyone. Your communication is engaging because it comes from a place of authenticity. The opposite is also true. When we are emotionally shaken, our voice shakes, becomes weak or accelerated, reflecting inner instability. The voice reveals the state of the soul. If you want to strengthen your tone of voice and convey more presence, start by strengthening your inner connection. Practices such as singing mantras, doing breathing exercises and even talking more slowly helps bring more depth to the voice. But the essential thing is to ask yourself, am I talking true? Does my words come from the heart or fear? When this consciousness is installed, communication transforms itself. And along with her, something even more subtle and powerful begins to change: the aura itself and personal energy. The presence of a person who has undergone a deep spiritual transformation is almost magnetic. Without having to say anything, she radiates something different, her own light, a spiritual energy that resonates uniquely. Its aura, once dense or unstable, now expands more vibrantly and engagingly. This is because its energy frequency was high, creating a tune that impacts not only the appearance but also the way others perceive it. It is as if your simple presence brought a sense of peace and inspiration. This change is visible in the look, facial expressions, posture, and even the way they occupy space. Those who are around feel this energy, even without understanding exactly what has changed. Have you ever found someone who effortlessly made you feel good just for being there? These people have spiritual enlightenment that transcends words. They do not need to impose or draw attention, their own vibration does it for them. This is the true personal transformation, when the interior reflects outside in a natural and authentic way. If you want to expand your aura and strengthen your personal energy, the secret is in the internal balance. Eliminate negative thoughts, Cultivate gratitude and stay surrounded by environments and people who raise their vibration are essential steps. Small actions, such as practicing intentional silence, listening to high-frequency songs and connecting with nature, helps keep this energy high. And the more this transformation happens, the more evident it becomes to the world. People notice, approach, want to understand. And that's where they start to realize that something in you has changed forever. And now tell me, how many of these signs have you realized in yourself? Perhaps your eyes have gained a different shine, your posture is firmer, or your spiritual energy is stronger than ever. The fact is that personal transformation does not happen outside, it begins inside and, little by little, is reflected in your appearance, your voice, and the way you connect with the world. But here's a warning, ignoring these signs can make you miss the opportunity to evolve even more. The big question is, what are you going to do with this knowledge? Are you going to keep living in automatic, or will you use this new perception to further strengthen your energy and accelerate your evolution? Small changes can further enhance this transformation, from simple practices such as meditation and conscious breathing to adjustments in the way you take care of your mind and body. Spiritual awakening is a continuous process, and now that you already recognize the signs, it is time to take control of your journey. If this content has made sense to you, don't keep it for you. Share in the comments which of these signs have already appeared in your life and how you realize this change. And to continue learning more about spirituality and self-knowledge, subscribe to the channel, enable notifications, and stay on top of content that will turn your way of seeing the world and yourself. We see each other in the next video.